Hello and welcome to this week's edition of The Olive Tree. I'm Julia Fisher, and today finds us in the heart of the old city of Jerusalem, talking to a young Palestinian Christian called Shukri. This programme asks one question: what is God doing in the midst of the confusion and turmoil that is the Middle East? What you're about to hear is one of the most remarkable testimonies I've come across in all the years that I've been gathering stories from the Holy Land. Shukri takes up his story.
I raised up here in the old city, playing football with my neighbors and having fun with them. And then I went to the boarding school for 3 years and had some different experience about people that do not have fathers and sometimes mothers or families. And also raised up with many experience about the boarding school and many thoughts. And then I went back here, finished my high school.
Did you ever want to leave Jerusalem at any point? Did you find it just too hard living here?
Yeah, to be honest, once or maybe more, I found it very hard to live here. My conflict from the beginning is with checkpoints. And starting with the boarding school, because it was in Beit Jala, so I needed to go through checkpoints every day or almost. And I thought to leave the country many times.
What does it do to the mind of a young person living under that sort of a condition where you're always showing your passes, or as you say, you're always going through checkpoints and being scrutinized?
I'll tell you what I feel, and I believe that what others feels. It feels that you are in prison, big prison, and you need to carry your ID wherever you go. Prison. You cannot move as much as you can. You cannot do whatever you can without passports, IDs, blah, blah, blah. And all these kinds of permissions that needs to have with us. So, prison.
After you left school, what were your dreams? What were your ambitions?
I had a dream after the high school to be a tour guide. I still think about it, but now I'm praying more about it. I like to be free. Maybe that's why I wanted to be a guide, because of the situation. Because guides can go everywhere and talk with many people. But today I want to be a guide because also I want to tell the truth about the country. I want to tell people about Jesus more than politics.
So something has changed in your life. When did that change occur?
Almost 3 years ago, something changed. We can say it's a turning point that happened to my life. And I knew that there is a meaning of this life, because I was looking for the meaning, and I was always looking for something to fill my space, to fill that empty space in my soul. And I was always looking for something, and tried many things like alcohol, smoking, but I was always going back to the empty area. And after that turning point, which is happened in 3 years, Jesus filled that empty space with his love and with his presence. But I want to tell why I was so afraid to be more closer to the Lord, because I couldn't believe that the Lord can accept someone like me with all these sins that I have done before. And that was the big lie from Satan to me. But after that, my brother Malcolm, through him the Lord guided me to get to know him more and more. And today that fear passed away, and I live with the confidence that the Lord loves me more and more and more and more. And every day I discover how much does He love me for not what I do, but for who I am.
Do you still have that feeling that you want to escape?
Not at all. This has changed totally. I wanted to escape from responsibility, as any youth wants to be looking for an easy life, an easy marriage, easy everything. But with the Lord, every challenge we face, it's a privilege for us, because we are not alone. He is working through us. So my thinking has been totally changed, and I want change to my people, my youth, same that the Lord delivered me, healed me. I want this for my people, Palestinians and Jews.
How do you communicate with them? How do you share your story with Palestinians and Jewish people?
Most of the times, I share about my past, drinking, smoking, then turning point, and what Jesus came to give us solution for the sin issue, that we are all looking for a solution for that. It's not always like this. I am listening to the Holy Spirit, but He wants to talk to that guy in particular at that date. But most of the times, that story, I share my testimony this way.
And are you finding that people are listening to you, that they want to hear what you have to say?
When I try to convince them, they don't listen. When they feel the love of God through me, they listen. Even if their reaction is silent. But later, I hear about new testimonies happened with these guys, either Jews or Palestinians.
When you look to the future, I know you're about to get married. What are your hopes and dreams? What's your vision for your future?
My vision is, first of all, to see unity, a real unity between Jews and Palestinians. First, in the body of the Christ, because as Jesus said to the Father, make them one, and this is also my prayer, because through unity, revival will happen here. And my vision in particular is to see my generation getting delivered and healed from their past.
When you experience fellowship with that mixed congregation of Jewish believers and Arab or Palestinian Christians, it must be something very special. Can you just describe it?
We do here a day of prayer. It's all over the world. We call it World Day of Prayer. And that was my first time that I experienced and I saw Jews, Palestinians gathering together, seeking the face of God together, and praying for salvation, unity, and love for each other. But it took me 3 years to love people who are at the checkpoints in particular. But from the first day, I began to pray for them. Blessings, then forgiveness started to show up in my life, and then to bless them more and more and more, because it's really a big challenge to get through checkpoints every day, and sometimes you don't know how much time it takes you, and it depends sometimes in their moods, because they are teenagers. So it's a big challenge, but I can see the forgiveness and the love, and I can see that they can see that now after 3 years of praying and fasting for to forgive and to love. No bitterness anymore, no hatred anymore. There is love.
Shukri, a young Palestinian Christian man living in the old city of Jerusalem. You're listening to The Olive Tree with me, Julia Fisher, and the Olive Tree Reconciliation Fund is a Christian charity based in the UK that supports the needs of both Arab believers and Jewish believers living in Israel and the wider Middle East. If you would like to know more about our work and receive our free bi-monthly newsletter, please either visit our website olivetreefund.org or write to me, Julia Fisher, at the Olive Tree Reconciliation Fund, PO Box 850, Horsham, RH12 9GA in the UK. I'll be back at the same time next week for another story from the Olive Tree. Until then, goodbye.